the secrets of Morrowind. This is Dagoth Ur. He is, by any sensible measure, a god, as his stats have been boosted by various arcane incantations. Now, you may possibly have confused him with the other Dagoth Ur, some jumped-up little tart who thinks he can rebuild the Numidium. We'll be killing him later in this series, but Dagoth is with us in Nissus tonight to tell us all about his love of Bok. The locals, unfortunately, do not seem to share his love, but that doesn't really matter, since they are mortal and he is not.
You grow weak.
Now, it may appear as though he is drowning these people in the river out of sheer egregiousness. This is sheer egregiousness, but the orc and the warrior are being drowned as part of a serious scientific experiment. A study, if you will, into what happens if you box someone while they are standing in the river. The experiment would appear to have failed on this occasion, unfortunately. However, we are trying to reproduce a very rare phenomena, so unfortunately, failures are a fact of life. Fortunately, there is no shortage of happy volunteers for the experiment. However, we do need a way of encouraging them to volunteer.
You die!
And now, here we have a number of happy volunteers. While it was not the purpose of this documentary to demonstrate the ineptitude of the local police force, it does so with remarkable effectiveness. And yes, it is actually working. Notice how the orc is now rising out of the water into the sky. This is a particularly rare phenomenon, one which we are very lucky to have captured on film tonight. It is well worth demonstrating as part of this film exactly what happens if you shoot them with an arrow.
Let's see what you're made of.
As you can see, they immediately teleport from where they are in the sky to the ground with a sort of crunchy noise. This is, of course, quite fatal. Now we are seeing something very unusual. The orc has in actual fact begun to float out of the water even though he is dead. Note that the local populace is attempting unsuccessfully to execute Dagoth Ur. This probably means that they've heard about what he did in Caldera, but as we have already mentioned, nothing short of a meteor strike will be able to kill him. Still, waste not, want not. And here we have another floaty person. Note the way that the legs are opening and closing as the floaty person rises into the sky. The purpose behind this is unclear, but it may be some kind of mating signal. Another interesting thing about the floaty people is what happens to them if you leave the cell which they are based in. It would actually seem that it is necessary to move 2 cells away from where they are located in order for the enchantment holding them up to expire. This is, of course, extremely unpleasant for the floaty person. As you can see, they are now dead. Finally, let us go to Caldera, where Dagoth Ur has succeeded in bocking the entire human and elf population of the town. What is interesting is that if we turn our back for an extended period of time, the subjects will briefly rise from their slumber before crashing back down again. Let's see that again. Sadly, that's all we have time for tonight, but next week we'll be looking at the final battle between good and evil. From Dagoth Ur and me, good night.